Welcome to Mastermind. Today we are joined by FIDE Master Viktor Neustroev, a peak 2305 rated FIDE Master known for his powerful YouTube presence, coaching, and his result oriented chess philosophy. In this episode, we explore the mindset that helps everyday chess player to grow strategically. Let's dive deep into the mind of Viktor Neustroev. Welcome back to the Insider the Mastermind series. Today's guest is someone who is not just a strong title player but also a popular face in online chess world, Victor. He is an FM with a classical rating of around 2200 plus, and many of you might already know him from his YouTube channel Tricks of Chess. Victor, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you for inviting. Let me explain. This is maybe one of my best games. I played it in 2019
Mhm.
in Greece. Probably you know Valadar Murzian. Now it's a super grandmaster with his rating being over 2600 or so.
Yes,
But
yes.
that time he was just a strong international master, very young and but still strong. You see, at that moment his rating was more than 200 points higher than mine,
Mhm.
and I wasn't sure that I can play for a win. I was okay if we drew, but
Mhm.
well, you'll see what happened. So yeah, before this round, I did the preparation and I analyzed the game that he played against Dmitry Gordievsky, and
Mhm.
against me, Voladar chose the same strategy. So it started like Sicilian, but then he played g3, so he didn't play even d4,
Okay.
knight c6, bishop g2, knight f6. So if he plays e5, that's not a big issue, knight g4.
Yeah.
Oh, he queen e2. Well, he played against Dmitry Gordievsky in the same way. And this is where typically it's bishop e7, d5 should be played, but I changed um, the concept. I played e5,
Was it your
and again,
preparation? Was it your preparation? E5.
yes, it was still my preparation. So
Okay.
until a certain moment, it followed what exactly happened in the game between Murzin and Gordievsky. And
Okay.
Gordievsky defeated him. And that's why I actually consider that the strategy that White chooses
Mhm.
isn't the best one, because
Mhm.
White doesn't really get any advantage. There was some deviation. So h6, and now I'm preparing for d5. Why I'm not playing d5 right away? I'm just afraid of bishop g5 move, which allows him to trade his bishop for my knight. And in a closed position, my dark squared bishop wouldn't be so good.
Okay.
So he does knight a3. Knight c4 is coming. Maybe the knight goes to c2 also. Rook e8. Finally, knight c4 was played, and this is where I can defend my e5 pawn with d6, but d6 is slow, so I played bishop f8, and now I'm ready for d5. If he played rook d1, I would still play d5. He played rook e1. And d5, it's a possible move, but then there are some complications. So I played d6 first. Knight goes to e3, bishop e6. This is his common plan, h3 or h4, and knight h2, knight g4. And he actually did it. But then d5, I just opened the position in the center. When you are attacked on the flank, you should try to counterattack in the center.
Like,
I
can you
actually
explain
expected.
why DeFi didn't work earlier? Like, what was the difference? Why?
What was the difference between
Like, you
my
first
game
played
and
D6, right?
yeah, played. What was the difference? Why didn't I play d5 earlier?
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to bring my bishop, and here I want d5 to be supported with the bishop.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this is how my pieces are better prepared for opening the position.
Perfect.
It's there is a huge difference with the bishop on c8 and with the bishop on e6.
Yeah. We can see that in the game.
So I did d5. He didn't take it. He did what he learned when probably when he was very young and not so good. So he played knight h2.
Okay.
It's a common strategy. The knight goes to e5, the knight goes to g4. So, and I think I took, well, this is absolutely new position for me. I didn't meet it before. So, since this moment, I think I was playing on my own. And this is where I took a decision to play d4 move.
Okay.
If he took, my concept was to capture with the knight and make the d3 pawn a backward pawn.
Okay.
Of course, he doesn't take, but he cannot ignore it because the knight is hanging, so he simply moves the knight. Queen d7, and I'm ready to win the pawn if I do this. That's why he defends it.
Hmm.
And because I expect him to attack my king side, I decided to open the position. So d takes e3, because now d3 is still a backward pawn and a potential weakness. Oh well, rook a d8 is great. He defends it with bishop f1, and this is where I made my first inaccuracy.
Okay.
The move I played, I thought was really good. But then, when I analyzed this game after the game, a few days after the game, I realized that that wasn't the best strategy. Instead, I should fight for the d4 square. What's
Okay.
your opinion? What strategic plan I can initiate here to get a better control over the d4 square?
To get control of the d4 square, I feel like we can't bring another piece, but like white's knight is there, right? Which is controlling the square. If we can somehow move the f5 knight, then we have better control, I believe, but not sure
Yeah,
how
but
to
there is
do.
a pawn on c3 which doesn't allow us to occupy it with our
Okay,
pieces.
so then maybe b5, b4.
Yeah, that was the best action. So even according to the computer, also then a5 b4, take with the a pawn and set the knight on d4. That
Perfect.
would be really the best. But I didn't think about it. I just decided, okay, with c4, I prevent his d4, and if he takes, these are double pawns and easy target for me.
Like, can
And
we
actually,
analyze
he
that first? Like, if you go back, if you go, let's say, b5, the plan basically a5 and b5. What if white doesn't take on b5, b4?
before, then I take on b4, and even if he takes with the bishop,
Yeah.
the d4
Okay,
square
then you
becomes
got the
available for
control.
the knight.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Understood.
so I remove the pawn anyway, and this is how I can claim the control over the d4. Fine. So bishop f1 was played. I played c4 with the idea to double. So I don't think that he can play something like that. He has to take. That was correct. And knight a5. So I'm winning this pawn immediately.
Cool.
Well, actually, at that moment, I thought that okay, I can simplify, and maybe at a certain moment of the game, we can agree to a draw
Hmm.
because the white's position is not good.
Hmm.
However, the black's attacking potential is limited, so maybe I can have a draw. So he plays queen f3 move and creates a small tactical threat. Can you point it out?
Uh, is he trying to go for g5?
G5, actually, maybe, but there is a better move than G5.
Yeah, I see. Knight h6.
H6, knight H6, because if G takes H6, queen takes on F6. And
Yeah.
G5 is a problem too. That's why I found the solution. It's knight H7. So now,
Stops
in order to
everything.
play G5, he has to play H4.
Hmm.
And the knight is not hanging. And I can always bring the knight there if I want.
Yeah, I see.
So the game continued well with bishop e3. He is potentially taking a7. And, well, I thought that he doesn't take it. I thought
Okay.
it's too risky to take such a pawn. But, of course, I did calculate what happens if he takes a pawn.
Hmm.
Well, he finally took it.
Okay, did take it.
Yeah. So, and well, in this position, I had many other options. So I think that b5 was good, actually. I didn't think about it because I can explain why. Because my task was to not play for a win, my task was to simplify. So I played rook e8, and if he goes back, but
Hmm.
where else the bishop goes? Only to e3. If he goes back, I can trade. I can show you. So take, then he takes maybe with a queen, and then I take on a2. And it seems to me that we are very, very close to a draw because of what white can win. His attack on the king side is stopped, and we have pawn versus pawn on the queen side. So my pieces are not bad.
And
I have
also the
a
white
bishop
king
pair.
is weak, right?
White king isn't weak because when we talk about the weakness of the king, we should also think of how black pieces attack such a king. I don't have space on the king side,
I
so
see.
I can attack the king only if I can somehow bring my bishop to c5 and mm, threaten f2. But I'm sure that just this is sufficient to defend.
Hmm.
So that's why I think if that position would happen and if I were playing for a win, I would focus on the attack of the c3 pawn.
Okay.
Anyway, so here, before, instead of retreating his bishop, he took on c4, which I think was a good idea too. This, this, and this is where if I, again, if I would be a little more brave, I would probably continue with this move. This pawn is lost anyway. He cannot push it neither to a3
Yeah,
nor to a4.
you
Well, I
already
have
covered
pieces
it.
attacking it. Yeah, so I would improve my queen and take this pawn later, but I took this pawn immediately.
Hmm.
Well, the position is approximately even, slightly better for black still, but well, he should continue with h4 and so on, but he did queen g3,
Okay.
hoping for a continuation of his attack. This is another important strategic moment of the game. So this game isn't full of tactics. Instead, it's full of helpful strategic tools.
Okay.
What do you think in this position? If I don't want to let white to attack, and
Hmm.
if I want to get like a favorable position with a queenside play where I can successfully realize my bishop pair, which move should I play?
Okay, that's a very good question, and that can be the question for viewers also. I will suggest
Right.
everyone to stop the screen and think strategically, like what's the strategy? Yeah. For me, I don't know why I'm afraid of this h4 and g5 idea. So if I can stop that somehow, not sure. How do we stop that? But bishop a6 is also not possible. So as you mentioned, can we target the weak c3 pawn?
Yes, let's target the weak pawn on c3, but how?
How? Maybe queen c6?
Possible move for sure. What else?
What else there? So we are targeting the pawn. I
So
don't want
target the
to.
pawn and prevent the attack on the king side.
Yeah. So I don't think I can move the rook. Uh, so how
Not
do?
yet. There is a 5 pawn vulnerable.
Is queen d3 better than queen c6?
Yeah, queen d3 is better. Why? Because if bishop moves, we trade queens, and without queens, there is no attack.
Oh right.
If he
Got it. Got it. Perfect.
if he does g5, for example, then queen e4, and everything falls. So
Yeah.
there is no discovered attack.
I
It's a
see.
pin. And what can he do? Maybe knight h6? Well, but who cares?
Yeah.
Just move the king or bring queen to g6. There is no compensation. So one of these moves, it's over. Okay, so that's why he actually played a correct move instead of g5. He played bishop c1, and with such a move, he saves both pawns. But then we trade queens. And now, once I see that his attack no longer works, I decided to take advantage of my positional advantages. So my positional benefits, such as a bishop pair, such as a weakness there, maybe a potential weakness on e4. And rook c8, attacking directly. I no longer need to protect the pawn on e5. He defends. I try to bring pieces. So if he takes on g5, c3 becomes vulnerable. That's why he plays h4. But this is what I expected. I didn't want to make the knight the object of the attack, but I wanted to reroute my knight to e6.
Perfect.
So knight f3, the pawn is hanging, f6, also stops g5. He does knight f5, rook d8 to invade to d3, potentially attacking d2. He did g5, so let's trade once, and then I don't care about it. So I invaded his camp with rook d3.
Cool.
Well, he could have some counterplay with rook a1, which maybe is sufficient for a draw.
Okay. So is According to your evaluation, is this position equal? Because I can see you're pressing.
No, black is better. Black is better,
Yeah.
but black may not have enough advantage to convert it to a winning position. So I don't know how much better black is, but I think it's around like minus 0.7 or
Hmm.
maybe minus 1. Well, if it was minus 2, then it's absolutely winning. But with minus 1 or
Well, like, do you have the same thought in the game? Like, you're just
well,
slightly
I thought
better.
that I'm playing for win, of course, already.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I cannot succeed,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm fine with a draw.
Okay, got
But
it.
but at that moment I was playing for a win, so I was trying to win a pawn, threaten his pieces. So and he played rook a3.
Okay.
Rook a3, defending everything. Here, well, bishop c4 was a good move, but in my opinion, I did the same thing with bishop b1, attacking on e4. I protected the rook and attacked on e4.
Mm-hmm.
So he took, I took.
Okay.
Then he decided to defend e4 in with his knight.
Okay.
Well, maybe again he'd better do this, attack my bishop, but
Mm-hmm.
then I can go back and then still bishop c4 works. From on c4 he cannot attack my bishop.
Yeah.
Well, what now? What would you suggest for black to play? How to add pressure?
Uh,
Because you see the game potentially is very close to a draw because we have only 3 pawns left each. Well, we don't have queens on the board. If we trade pieces, then probably black won't have enough material to convert it to promote a pawn.
so I wanted to jump on f5, but with the knight, obviously. But isn't the pawn falling with knight c5?
Yeah, so exactly this is what happened. The pawn is falling. This is a weakness, and knight g3 wasn't sufficient to defend it.
Okay.
So I played knight c5. He may go back to e1, but in such a case, well, this is what I expect to happen. However, I can still bring the bishop to c6 and attack this pawn one more time.
Okay.
But he decided to trade, fine. And after bishop d3, this pawn falls.
Mm-hmm.
So he played this attacking move, but well, I won a pawn and I have a bishop pair, which tells, well, a bishop pair can compensate a pawn loss. So in fact, in this position, I think it's already -2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one extra pawn and the bishop pair, which provides me with advantage of 1 point. So it's around -2.
Perfect. So now it's all for win from here.
Yeah, from now it's winning, but again, it should be winning accurately. So bishop d5, look at this bishop,
Yeah, dominating the
restricting the
knight.
knight. And I thought that with such a move, I provoke him to advance the pawn to c4. Then I played this move, and the knight is tied down to c4. I was about to play bishop b4, after which I'm threatening to take, and I thought that with two extra pawns, even if it's the endgame with bishops of opposite color, it's completely winning
Mm-hmm.
because I can create two pass pawns.
Perfect.
Well, I wasn't sure to do it or not, but he actually helped me. He
Okay.
played c5 himself. And then the bishop goes back, and this knight is just a terrible knight.
Yeah.
So we brought the kings.
So
I
just
played
to ask
f5.
you, like,
Uh-huh.
you're more happy not to like win the pawn and keep the bishops rather than, winning the pawn and giving one bishop pair and going in opposite color bishop, right?
Well, one of the ways to convert a bishop pair is to trade it at the right moment. So that's
Trade
why
it
I'm
with
ready to
the
trade.
bishop or knight, like with the same color
Uh,
bishop or with the knight.
well, okay, so I should pass the game to the endgame with bishops of opposite color only if I'm sure that it's winning. If
Okay.
I have two passed pawns, it can be winning.
Okay. Perfect.
So, but if he played, let's say, knight f3, I would definitely take it for sure, because the endgame with the bishops of the same color with one extra pawn is winning for sure. Well, in some cases not, but in this position it's winning. So
Okay.
knight f3 I would take. I would give up my bishop pair because this is easy to convert.
Okay.
However, he plays. I played king e6. He played king d3. I played f5,
Hmm.
and he doesn't have any moves, and he played f3,
Okay.
which was a mistake. And this is where I ask you to pause this video and find the tactical strike. I don't think it's hard. And usually international master shouldn't miss such things, but at that moment the game was absolutely losing, so he just played a move that stopped me from playing a4. That
Yeah.
was his plan.
Yeah, I see it. Like I was thinking the plan was just to go to c6 with the king, and the pawn is falling anyways. But if it's winning here, like how do we win? Yeah. So that was my plan while looking at the game. But can we win outright?
Yeah, can we win faster with a tactical strike?
Let's see. Maybe viewers can find it for sure by pausing the screen. We can go ahead with the game. Maybe viewers will comment down what was the answer.
Oh, okay, so actually it's more simple than you think.
Okay.
King d7, king
Oh, now I see
c6
it. Now I see
works.
it. Now I see it. Is it
Okay,
bishop f3?
bishop f3, right. So I gained the second pawn,
Yeah.
and this is where he resigned.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he should, because if he takes,
Mm-hmm.
then this, and we trade,
And
and
then
this is just an easy win,
yeah,
because he
king
cannot
d5.
do anything. Coming closer to the pawn means I traded.
Perfect. And bishop c5 will be a mistake here, right?
No, bishop c5 still works.
It
So
works.
bishop c5, king
No,
c5,
but
king f5,
white
and
won't exchange the
shouldering.
bishop, right?
Uh, what do you mean? He has to exchange the bishops. What else can he do?
Like king f4 here,
Ah,
bishop
you mean he can play? He
he
may
can
not
keep,
take. He
yeah,
may play which move? But which move again?
like just two squares are there for the bishop right now, right?
Okay, so
And
this, let's
then
say.
hope for someday, take the pawn maybe.
Well, it still shows it's winning because the enemy king is too far from the place of action.
Yeah, yeah.
So I advance my pawn,
And then you try to
control this
exchange.
square, offer a bishop. Well, I can actually do this, offer a bishop trade, and then cover the diagonal so he cannot attack it.
Perfect, got it.
So it's still winning, but maybe in this position I think I would play bishop h6.
Yeah, that's just simple winning, right?
That was what I prepared, but he resigned, and actually yes, it's completely losing. So not many tactics, but this game is a very good strategic example of how to parry a kingside attack. So for example,
So,
in this position,
mhm.
white is ready to crush my king side, and I definitely need to find a way of how to do a counter attack for these purposes. I opened the position, then I could play b4, b5, but c4 wasn't bad. It still allowed me to open the file and then win this pawn back.
Yeah, perfect. Like even with black pieces, it was seen like you are always under control, and yeah, perfect win against the current reigning World Rapid champion.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks Victor for coming and showing a class game to all of us. I would love to share that you also have this chessable course, train your tactical vision. We will link that in the description. I would love if audience can go and check it out. Victor is a fantastic trainer and that can help you in your chess journey. Thanks Victor again. Hope you to see you again.
Okay, thank you for inviting. See you then.